Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! And I'm here with my another face. With my with my husband Alejandro. I cut your head off for Halloween. Boost! Okay, let's get into this. I posted a post on Instagram because whenever we're out of town, we usually do a Q&A, and Alex mentioned, he said, hey, are we gonna do a Q&A? And I said, hey, if you want to, hey is for horses, we can do a Q&A, so do you want your drink over there?
Sure.
Let me get it for you. Hold on a second. Hi. He's drinking water out of a mason jar. Okay, so, and I have my Diet Coke, and we have all the questions here, and we're gonna go through and just randomly answer these questions, or answer these random questions. Now, we have done many Q&As. How many do you think we've done now?
8 seasons of them.
8 seasons of love. 8 seasons of love. So a lot of the questions that we got are repeats that we have answered previously. For example, how did you guys meet? And what else? Like, do you guys want kids?
We met in the nude.
We met in the nude. We did that. Okay. Let's see what some of the questions are. Okay, so I screenshot some of the questions that we haven't answered before. The first question, how do you all feel about the new Ariana Grande track?
I like it.
Yeah, Alex liked it. I was sitting out here yesterday, and I turned it on, and he was like, that's, well, you were like, that's the new Ariana Grande song, right? Positions.
What is your favorite position?
Oh my lord. I don't love the song, but
Is it because they do it in the kitchen?
oh my lord, they do kind of do it in the kitchen. But I do not love the song, but I do like the music video. I thought the music video is really cute. Her songs that I like are Seven Rings and that Thank You Next. I like those songs.
And you like Glory Hole.
Alex! You can't.
She's the one.
Come on,
saying
okay,
it.
family. She doesn't say that.
I know.
Okay, family friendly, we need to pull it in. So
Ariana,
anyway,
can you make a song like that?
I hope
though?
this video does not get demonetized. Seriously, I'm gonna have to beep that one out. I'm gonna have to beep that out. I don't even know how to do that. I ain't got my glasses on, I can't do that. Okay, can you pull it in? We're a family friendly channel. Okay, so anyway. We actually, one time at Ultra Music Festival, we saw her. She was like 10 feet away from us. She's super, super tiny. She's very cute. She was with her brother, Frankie Grande. Okay. Put it down. Okay. No playing with the toys. Okay, next question.
It's not a toy.
Favorite shows to watch together?
We normally watch RuPaul's Drag Race. All of them.
Yeah.
You know, All Stars, No Stars, Future Stars.
We watch all the RuPaul stuff. Pose. American Horror Story. We started The Handmaid's Tale. We got through the 2nd season, and then we were bored.
Halfway through it, was, yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. What else do we watch? Well, like with Netflix, like Alex binge watches a show.
And then he'll follow me right after.
Yeah, like, and then I'll watch it like right after he does. Like right now I'm watching Ratchet, and he just finished that like a week ago. He watches it like in a day or two. Before we get into this, for those of you that don't know, Alex and I have been together for 12 years, and we have been married for 9. So people will ask. Let's see. What's your favorite Halloween couples costume that you've ever done?
The Lumberjacks.
Yeah, we've only ever done it one time.
We've done it a lot of times.
Well, costumes, that is. When back in the day, I always wanted to do couples costumes, and Alex would be like, no, I think that's corny, I don't want to do that.
I think like, okay, so like I think couples matching costumes is corny, but I think like when you do like a group, it's a vibe. You know what I mean? Like you're going for the energy of it instead of like matchy.
Like I love when people do like the Scooby-Doo costumes, like all of them or something like that.
Right.
That's cute. But like to do matchy, like that's what I always wanted to do, and he wasn't down for all that.
And we did it, and he's like, I see what you mean.
So we were lumberjacks. We wore jean shorts and construction boots and wool socks and suspenders and red flannel shirts, and we carried these little, what were they called? Like
chainsaws?
Little chainsaws with us. We were walking across the street and people were not so kind. They were saying very not nice homophobic things about us. But we looked good.
What was I replying to them?
I don't know, but don't say it right now because this is family. Oh, Alex, family friendly. Okay. So anyway, let's see another question. Did either of you do any activities in school like track or band?
I didn't do any like official school activity, but I did dance for
the Fever.
Yep.
Which was WNBA.
Yep.
Okay, so when we first met, people would like come up to him and like they would make signs for him when he was a dancer and stuff. So when we first started dating, which was how many years after that? Like 5 or 6?
No, I mean I stopped at like 2004. So
it was that much long. So it was like 4 or 5 years before. Yeah. People would come up to him and they'd be like, "Oh, did you used to dance for the Fever?" and stuff like that. So he had all his own fans. Did you do anything else in school?
No, I mean I used to play tennis and I swam. I swam in high school, and I played tennis up until like 8th grade. But I played better, like I played more, and I was really more into it like when I lived in Venezuela.
Did you wear the Speedo?
When I was playing tennis? No.
No. Okay. I was in orchestra in high school, but really just because it was an easy A and all my friends were in orchestra. But I also played, when I was growing up, I played hockey, I played soccer, and I played tennis. Like I would
fiddle?
No. Shh. You played the skin flute. But anyway,
still do.
Okay, so anyway, I played tennis when I was growing up and like from like 4 or 5 on and was being trained to be a professional tennis player, but I stopped in 9th grade. All right, okay. How does Alex handle public life since he is not the celebrity of the group here? Well, I am so not a celebrity. People don't recognize me. They come up to him. Like, they'll come up to me and they'll be like, people always say this. They don't just say, Peter Monn. They go, "Are you Peter Monn?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Actually, I was driving.
Did you ever say no?
No, but I was walking through like Broderville, which is like this artsy area by us in Indianapolis the other day, and somebody it was like somebody in a pizza car, like a pizza truck, Donato's Pizza, and they were like, "Peter Monn!" And I was like, "Hi," like that. But it happens to him. Like, people come up to him all the time and they're like, "Are you Peter Monn's husband?"
Yeah. And I'm glad not to be a celebrity. Like, that's not a life I want. Like, I couldn't do it. However, like, when people do come up to me, like, they're like, "Oh my God," like, they didn't even ask if, well, actually, that's not true. They do ask. But I have what's it called? A ritual that when they do, I just whip out my phone and FaceTime Peter.
He FaceTimes me, and like, I have no idea, right? So
one time Peter answered, he was pooping.
No, that has never. You're such a liar. That would never happen. First of all, but anyway,
you wouldn't answer the phone if I needed you.
I mean, if I needed you, I would probably.
Well, if I needed you,
anything can wait 30 seconds.
You will not need me in that moment.
Okay, so no, thank you. No.
Next.
You know what people are like? When do you do that in front of each other in front of marriage? Never. You don't ever do that. There's some things you just don't do. Okay. So anyway, I know there's couples out there like we do.
Like, we're doing it right now.
But he'll FaceTime me. He'll be like, "Hey, babe, are you having fun?" And he'll be like, "Well, Judy Smith that watches your videos wanted to say hi." And then all of a sudden, I'm standing there, my hair's all crazy, and like she'll be like, "Hi, how are you?" I'm like, "Hi, how are you too?" But no, like, I love when people like get this idea that because you're on YouTube, like you like have some kind of fame or whatever. It's like there's no fame to it.
To be fair, I sent you a text like, "Hey, I'm about to call you."
Sometimes you do,
but the text usually comes through after I've dialed it.
Yeah, that's the truth right there. Okay, let me see. What are your Hogwarts houses? Somebody asked. Okay, so he doesn't know what his.
Mine's Vanderpump.
You're so silly. Okay, so he doesn't know what his houses are. I actually haven't officially sorted, and I am a Hufflepuff. I wanted to be a Gryffindor, but I'm a Hufflepuff. And people are always like, "You're such a Hufflepuff," and I am. Alex would probably be a Slytherin, hands down.
Sure.
Okay, what's your advice?
Let it right in.
What's your advice for newlyweds?
To not hold back. You know, just say what you want to say and let your dreams come true and communicate with each other. You're a part of a team, so, you know, just know that each other, hopefully, you have each other's like best interest at heart, so always push and don't hold back.
And premarital counseling.
Oh my God, yeah. But that, I mean, clearly, like if you are newlywed, you should have done that already. Yeah,
we really are big proponents of counseling. We talk about it like in all the videos we do. Okay, let's see. Who would each of you choose to play you in a movie about your lives?
I don't know.
Mauricio from The Real Housewives.
I would pick someone that is not good looking by like general consensus, just so that like when people do Google me, it's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Alex, your language, family friendly.
Then they can be like pleasantly surprised of who I am.
Are those bugs?
Flying around?
Are you attracting bugs?
Flies.
I don't know who I would have play me. Daniel Craig, probably, because we look so much alike. What?
Yeah.
Because we look so much alike. Favorite shows to watch together. Okay. Oh, story behind your first kiss. When was our first kiss?
Our first date. Unless you count me licking your face. A weekend before we met.
Okay, so this is funny. So, I'll tell the beginning part of it.
It was a Saturday night.
It was a Saturday night.
We went to there was this like huge back in the day like
white party
at this club, and like I'm like running around because I was lit, and somehow my friends had checked in my white pants and coat check because I lost them.
He lost his pants. So I'm standing upstairs in this upstairs bar area with 3 or 4 of my sober friends. Our date is the upcoming Monday. And we didn't really know each other before that, like at all.
I mean, like, I mean, like not officially, but like you would see me out and like you would talk to me, and then like you would like send me a message on like AIM, like back in the day, and I would just be like,
I don't think I even had an AIM.
Yeah, because that's how you talk to me, and he's like, and I would be like, well, why didn't you talk to me? He's like, I did. I'm like, ooh, forgot.
But yeah, so that was okay. But then the thing, I don't think I had AIM. I think we communicated through Facebook.
Facebook didn't. You were not in Facebook then. You sent me a message through MySpace.
Oh, MySpace.
MySpace didn't have a chat.
Okay. So anyway, so I'm standing up there with like 3 or 4 of my sober friends, right? And so Alex comes up and he's like looking everywhere for these pants, right? And he's like, and I'm like standing there and
I'm lit. Like
I can
like
tell that he's intoxicated. Were you lit? We get it. Were you lit?
Hey, could you tell that I was intoxicated?
I could tell he was intoxicated.
Were you with your sober friend?
I was with my sober friend. So anyway, so we're standing there and I'm like, please don't let him come up here. Please don't let him come up here right now.
Lit.
You're so dumb. So anyway, so he comes over and he's like walking by and like it gets like right to where he's at, like eye level with me, and I'm like, keep on walking, and he like stops, like turns, and he looks like right at me, and he comes like walking over and he's like, have you seen my pants? And I'm like, no.
I don't
He's like in these white like boxer briefs, and I'm like, no. And he goes, okay. And then he starts turning and he walks away, and I was like, oh my God. And he turns back and he goes, see you on Monday. And he licks the side of my face.
And I don't know where I saw that. I don't know where, because I saw it on the show.
And I thought it was sexy.
It was sexy, and I was like, ooh, but clearly when you're lit, it's not sexy.
Okay, Alex, have you ever... Then he texted me. Was that later in the night?
Yeah.
He texted me that night and asked me to cuddle. He's not much of a cuddler, so I don't think it meant that. Okay.
I needed a ride.
You needed to ride something. But anyway, Alex, have you ever wanted Peter to shave off his beard?
Not his beard.
Alex!
What?
Shave off my beard. My head? My hair? My head?
Sure.
What were you gonna say?
I mean, I guess head is a good word to say.
This has gotten so bad. Okay.
No, I don't really care. I mean, like, I think it's sexy and I think it's hot. Either way, shave, sleeve smooth, or a hairball. So it doesn't, you know.
Hairball. But I do keep it like shorter. Like if it was really long, you would probably not like that. Oh God. Yeah, no. He doesn't really care for all that. Okay.
Like if I had to brush it or braid it, like that would be a problem.
No, that's not gonna happen. Okay. Dan Levy or Andy Cohen as best looking celebrity?
Eiffel Tower, both.
Okay, So here's my thing. I've always thought that Andy Cohen is so good looking, but I kind of today, like, I would friend zone Andy Cohen. Like, there's something about him that's like nice.
I will say though, like, Andy Cohen would be like a fun friend, you know, like a good friend, you know, to have. Probably that you met because you hooked up and then you became friends because you realized it's like, okay, like, we're just better at friends. You know what I mean? I mean, he doesn't have to talk.
This is what you get when he's on my videos. I kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
first of all, it's not like any of them choose us.
But I don't, and we're not in an open marriage. Somebody asked that in here.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I used to think that Andy Cohen was so hot, and so, I don't know. There's just something about him that I just, like, lately, I'm just like, we'll be, like, sitting there watching Watch What Happens Live, and I'm like, I don't think he looks as good as he used to. And Alex is like, yes, he does. And I'm like, I don't think he does. And to me, Dan Levy is, like, so sharp. He's so smart. He's so intelligent. And there's something to me about, like, intelligence and just, like, a raw sense of humor that I'm sorry that Andy Cohen does not have that Dan Levy does. It's just, like, I mean, that just, that constant wit is just like, you gotta entertain me, okay? Like, you have to well, you know what I mean, but anyway.
I mean, first of all, look, like, it's not like we're, like, on the same level at all, and it's not like I'm wanting to judge them by any means. So quite frankly, if I were to be chosen by them, it would be, we don't even need to have a conversation about it.
Okay, so, I don't know what that means, but, okay, who said I love you first?
We still haven't.
We still haven't after 12 years. We did, and Alex pulled that. I think this is so stupid. Okay, Alex pulled that. I don't say I love you until we've been together for a year kind of deal. It's funny because, so when we met, I was 36 and Alex was 24. He is now 36. He's the age that I was when I met him.
So do I need to find a 24-year-old?
If you want,
Gross.
Alex. So anyway, when we met, like, I knew, I'm like, I've always said that, I can tell you, like, right away if I'm, like, wasting my time or not, and, like, our first date was, like, incredible. Like, we, like, just talked through the whole dinner. We had, like, such a great day. You always tell people that.
Yeah.
Like, he's being silly, but, like, we had a really amazing first date. And, so I can just remember, like, thinking to myself, like, this is who I could spend the rest of my life with. I mean, I really felt that way right away. And I think I told you at, like, 2 weeks or something. I probably could have said it at a week, but I think I said it at, like, 2 weeks. And so, because he couldn't say I love you.
Because I didn't feel it. Not because I couldn't say it, it's because I wasn't there.
He wasn't there yet, okay.
So
why? I don't know. Why? What is there not to love? I mean, that.
Oh, it's 24, girl.
Okay, so he says to me, this is what he used to say.
Well, I would say thank you, and he's like, ugh.
He would say thank you for loving me.
And then he's like, we need to find a phrase that's like better than just thank you. And I'm like, well, he doesn't like to be thanked. So that's
silly.
I mean, it's totally for friends.
How gay friendly do you find Indianapolis? I find it really gay friendly, honestly. And I think it is.
No.
I feel safe in Indianapolis as a gay couple.
I mean,
Indianapolis is an interesting city because it's very conservative and it's very traditional, but it's conservative, traditional, not really on issues. Like, I mean, out in the country, it's different, you know, but like
I think it's because, like, we live there, so we know where to go and what times or whatever, right? Like, we're familiar with the space, but maybe as an out-of-towner, they may not feel the same way.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
I definitely think that in Carmel, like, you may not feel the same way. However, I feel that it's completely safe. But, yeah, I mean, it's because we live there, I think. What?
People always ask this question. Who's the top and who's the bottom? He'll want to answer this question, so just answer the question because I don't really care.
I mean, we just take turns.
Listen, you do what you do.
Why does it have to be one or the other?
Right, okay? And here's the thing that's interesting to me.
If you could, why wouldn't you?
Here's the thing that's interesting to me, though, okay, about this question, is it's like, it's nothing that I'm ashamed of, but like, why is there always this need to ask people this question? Like, how, I don't feel like
not
that.
People, like gay couples.
Gay couples,
Straight.
specifically. I feel like,
yeah.
I mean, well, first of all, you wouldn't ask your mom and dad, like, who's giving BJs and stuff, but this is the other thing, it's like, I feel like that question, we think like it means something or it defines somebody's role in a relationship, which like it's 2020, okay? Like what turns you on in the bedroom does not define who you are in the relationship, and we don't even have defined roles in our relationship. I mean, I feel like we're really pretty equal when it like across the board.
Yeah, for somebody to like define a role into somebody else's relationship says more about them than the person that they're trying to define. It's like, why is it that you need to box something? Like, does it make you feel more comfortable if, like, a man is the woman in their relationship
Which
versus
I hate
whatever?
that. I hate that when people say
no,
that.
none of us are men or women in the relationship. We're both men in the relationship because we define as men and we believe ourselves as men. So therefore, that's what we use. So next time you want to ask that question to someone, just think about how insulting it may be if you were to be asked something sexual about like your activities in the bedroom, whether you do it or not.
It's always interesting to me why people would want to know that. Like, but then it's like, oh, so then they're like, I don't know.
Maybe it turns them on.
Stop objectifying us. Anyway. But you know, when you look today at how...
Like if you're a gay person, sorry to interrupt you, but if you're a gay person, can you like...
Sorry.
Answer below if you like to be asked that question or not, just so we can see.
Right, like I mean, I think like, you know, probably like...
I don't even know what your position is.
Like I think on,
like
on Grindr probably or something like that, it's an important question because you want to hook up with who it's going to be appropriate to hook up with, right? But you know, like what Alex was talking about, like how he said defining himself, but like how we identify today, you know, how you define yourself, like through your sexual orientation, how you define yourself otherwise, how you define, you know, like all of that today is like, it's 2020, like why are we getting bogged down with all of that? You know what I mean? Like, and that's where I'm such a believer and like be so true to yourself, like, and it doesn't matter what other people think. I don't know, it's just that question always is like, whenever I see it on there, it's like, number one, you see like what do you guys do in bed, and number two, like how big are your dicks? Like I'm like, okay, like why do you think that's appropriate to ask?
They're great questions though.
Why do you okay, maybe, but like why do you think it's appropriate to ask somebody that's been married?
I mean, I feel like if it's a guy
question?
asking that question, it's like what they wish they were doing, and if it's a woman asking that question, it's because they wish that they
Alex
getting that.
I don't think women are the ones that are asking that question. I really don't, but I could be wrong.
Well,
okay. So anyway, somebody asked, how do you both feel? Let me know what you guys think about that question in the comment section below. I just think it's always an interesting question, and we get it at least once every time. How do you both feel about the mattress in a box? My hubby and I are thinking about getting one. Oh my God, we love our mattress in a box. We do. So this house that the Airbnb, I think they have them here too. I'm totally sold.
Well, I don't know if they came in a box or not, but they are great mattresses.
We got the Helix one, and at the time, I had like a 10% off code with it. I don't think I do anymore though. How old was Alex when he moved from Venezuela?
12.
12. What fictional couple, TV, movie, or book do you relate to the most?
Oh God.
What TV couple would you be?
I never compare myself to either real characters or like real people, let alone like fictional one, because it's just a letdown to me.
You could be Lisa Vanderpump. I probably would be your husband that just never says anything, and then we have all the dogs.
That'd be great.
Okay, and then Kyle Richards. I get to be Kyle Richards, and you can be Mauricio. Those aren't really fictional couples, though. Who's a fictional couple like in a movie?
I don't know. I just don't like to. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I like it. I think it's a fun question. Okay, you guys have to guess what each other's favorite snacks are around the house. Oh my God.
Well, we have to guess.
Well, I mean, we know because we're the same pantry, right?
Uh-huh.
So what is it?
You like is it like onion and ranch dip with like ruffle?
But I haven't had them as much lately. I have them here, but okay. You like Sour Patch Kids, and you like Skittles too. Mm-hmm. And that he loves like big bags of candy, and then but he won't like I'll sit down and eat the whole bag. Like he literally will have like two handfuls and put it away. And then he is obsessed with that kind of popcorn. What's it called? Smart Pop? Skinny Pop. He gets the little bags from Amazon. Best moment you guys have had as a couple?
I mean, aside from our getting like from our marriage.
Yeah, somebody else in here asked the same question and said, besides your marriage, your wedding.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like anything that we accomplish together is a great moment.
Best moment that we've had as a couple.
Every year gets better than the last. So even through 2020, I think that like every moment is just worth celebrating. So
what's like a really good moment?
Well, every time we finish.
Okay, so or 5 seconds before. All right. So anyway, you know, I always tell this story that is like one of my favorite memories of Alex, and when we first started dating, Alex took me to this bar in Indianapolis called the Jazz Kitchen. It's still there. And they have Latino night on Thursday night where it's like salsa dancing and stuff like that. And so he took me there, and he and his cousin Maya, who are like unbelievable salsa dancers, they entered this salsa contest. They got second. They got boogered. They should have won the whole thing. This older couple won, so it was real nice. But anyway, and I can remember, what was the Celia Cruz song that I like?
La Negra Tiene Tumbado.
Oh my God, I love that song so much. And every time I hear it, I think of Alex and his cousin Maya out there dancing. And Alex, I can remember, because we had like gone shopping that day, and he had this like V-neck diesel orange t-shirt on. Was that orange t-shirt? It's like orangish red. And he used to wear like these driving moccasins, and I can just see him like gliding around on that floor, and it was like all these people there, and it was so hot and sultry, and I love that memory. Okay. Does pineapple belong on pizza, Peter? Absolutely, it does. I love pineapple on my pizza.
No.
Did y'all give each other expensive gifts while dating or after marriage? We've given each other nice gifts from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Before and after.
Before and after.
I mean, why does it have to quit when you get married?
Yeah. We don't really, as unlike, I mean, every once in a while we will. We do still give gifts. I think gifts, it makes me sad. I understand why couples do it, but it makes me sad when couples say like, oh, we don't get gifts for each other anymore. Like we do. We have decided to recently though, like the last couple years, spend our money that we would spend on gifts on like taking trips and things like that, because Alex is like, he brought it up and he was like, we have a couple that we're friends with and they take like these huge trips, and he was like, I would rather have experiences with you than just have like a Gucci belt, you know? And I totally agree with that.
And then I said I'd rather have a nice trip while wearing the Gucci belt.
Well, that too. Okay.
So if any of you guys works at Gucci, send me your discount.
Most valuable thing you've learned in counseling?
Communication. Like learn how to talk to each other. Talk, period.
I think also knowing when to walk away during an argument, like, and saying, okay, we need to stop having this argument right now. Like, Alex is somebody that, like, I used to be, like, I couldn't go to sleep until, like, it was all said and done. And I would just, like, la 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 la. And he'd be like, okay, I need to go to bed. Like, we're not going to solve this tonight. And sometimes, like, I have learned with Alex, like, to walk away and give him some space. Like, we can come back and have the conversation. And so I think it's about learning each other's communication patterns, you know? I also think the 12 points of intimacy that I've talked about in a lot of my videos are really important. Okay, have you had to set boundaries from your in-laws? No?
No. I mean, I only have one, so.
Well, my cousin Caroline's kind of an in-law to you.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, when I think of in-laws, I think of like parents.
So my dad and my stepmom, I guess, is what you haven't had to set me
right.
boundaries. No, I mean, we've been really, really lucky. I always say this. I have the best mother-in-law in the entire world. You know, I have to say this, and I probably should never say this on video, but I'm going to say this. Like, if we had I shouldn't say this.
I shouldn't say it, but here I go.
But, like, I feel so blessed to have the mother-in-law that I have, you know, and, I mean, she's taught me a lot, and she's put me in my place from time to time, but, you know, like, if we had a bigger place and like down the road, like I wouldn't have an issue with her living with us. Like she's such an independent person anyway, and like his grandma lives with his mom and she's 90, and you know, I just wouldn't have that issue in a way that I think like it probably would have driven me crazy to have my mom live with me, you know? Okay, people want to know what your favorite type of wine is.
Malbec.
Malbec. And how has your back leg pain been? It's been 100 times better than it was before, after I got the shot in the nerve. There were like 2 or 3 days where I was kind of like, okay, it's getting, the light, we're gonna have to end this here soon because the light is getting bad. But where I thought it was getting worse, but no, it's like, especially on this trip, I thought it would be bad, but it's been really good. Any advice for a relationship with an age gap and being judged by others?
Remember that other people's issues with you are their issues, not your issues. So don't mind somebody judging you because of who you chose them to be. It's not their problem. I
think it was Dr. Seuss that said, those that matter don't mind and those that mind don't matter. But you know, and I screenshot this today because one of my friends posted this on Instagram or posted this on Facebook, and I liked it, about sobriety. Your sobriety is more important than what people think of your sobriety. And I think that the same thing goes for relationships. It's like your relationship is more important than what people think of your relationship. It's really none of their business. Although I have to say, like, we've never really faced anybody being weird about our age.
I mean, through here,
Down here?
I mean, like through here. So like,
YouTube.
Like whole like YouTube stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, people have like a bigger issue than it is, and it's kind of like I don't care what your issue is because it's like you're not the one like that I'm sleeping next to, and you're not the one that I'm like having this like personal connection with. Like if you have a problem with like the fact that like
hold on. It's gonna stop. Okay, go on.
If you have a problem with the fact that like Peter and I are like 12 years apart, then you know. Not my problem.
And you know, we know a lot of couples that there's like an age difference. Like my cousin and her husband, there's an age difference. My dad and my stepmom, there's an age difference. It's a lot larger than ours. I mean,
like my brother and his like wife, like my sister-in-law, there's an age difference. Like all my friends, like all like my close friends that are like married in a relationship, like there's, and it's like, it's to each their own, you know, like whether you're younger or the older or the same age, it's kind of like, it doesn't really matter like what age you are. If you don't know how to communicate, then that's where the problem lies. So.
I don't think that 12 years, and listen, you know, do whatever makes you happy. I don't think 12 years is a huge difference. In fact, I think where like the age difference has been the biggest problem is like pop cultural references, which I really think has a lot more to do with culture than it does with anything else.
I'm more with it than you are.
Okay. But, I mean, in some ways you are, but I think like a lot of the pop cultural references, you know, it's funny because like Stevie Nicks is getting all this attention now, and he just like sent me Stevie Nicks's.
I did it.
Like, oh, you did do it. He sent me her like video of her doing something, but anyway, her newest song that just came out. But like, I mean, I have loved Fleetwood Mac since I was like 8 years old or something like that, 7 years old, you know? And so when I would say to him like something about Fleetwood Mac, he had no clue who that was or, you know, whatever. But, you know, it's interesting. Like, I don't think that 12 years is really that big of a difference. I just don't think that it is.
To us, it isn't.
No.
To other people, maybe.
Who is more emotional? Yeah, I'm definitely more. But I will tell you that.
I don't know.
Counseling really opened it up for him. It really.
I think that like if define emotional, because I learned that I have always been an emotional person. Like, you know, like when I have fun big. When I laugh big. When I'm angry big. You know, so all of those are emotions, right? So like for me to like quote myself or define myself as a non-emotional person, it's quite frankly incredibly false because like, you know, like if I'm angry, that's an emotion. If I'm defensive, that's an emotion. If I'm happy, that's an emotion. And I think that like, you know, I think that being sad or romantic or like lovey, that those are also emotional, and I'm still those, just not as big as the other ones.
Yeah, it's funny because I'll talk about this on my Peterisms channel too. It's like, we always look at like being emotional as like a bad thing, right? But like being emotional is like a positive thing too. I mean, if you're feeling overcome with joy, that's an emotion. All right, if you could have a 5-minute conversation with your dogs, what would you ask them?
I don't want to answer this question.
Okay. We've had some tough moments on this trip thinking about pee-pee and stuff like that, so. Do you ever watch beauty pageants?
I mean, I'm not really into beauty pageants like you are.
I love beauty pageants.
I could care less, to be quite frank. However, I think they're fun. I think they're great. I think they're very entertaining. But if, you know, when like the Miss Universe or the other ones are on and a scary movie's on, like, guess what I'm gonna pick?
But we did go over to your aunt and uncle's house that one time we watched Miss Universe, the year that Mexico won.
Yeah.
And I could not believe it because I have loved beauty pageants ever since I was a kid. And his family went like nuts. I mean, it was like watching a major football game.
Yeah, it's, I mean, we're Venezuelan, you know, like that's like it's a big thing.
Yeah. How would you say I don't even know how he does this. So this will be an interesting question since I talk so much about it on my Peterisms channel. How would you say you deal with cutting off toxic people?
Easy.
Yeah, Alex is just kind of like, Alex is somebody, like, I give people a lot of chances, and I typically have a conversation with them, and and I've been the toxic person to other people before, and I'm sure he has too, and and I'll say to somebody, like, like you've seemed so negative lately, is there something I can do to help you, or whatever, but like, after I've had that conversation on multiple occasions, or tried to be helpful with somebody, I just kind of start distancing myself from them, and if they ask, I'm just like, look, like, I try to surround myself with positivity today. I don't have a whole lot of, life left. I mean, who knows, like, I want to have joyful times, Alex is somebody that, like, you screw him over once, like...
Well, not once.
Twice, maybe, but,
yeah,
like...
maybe 3 times. Like, twice, and then, like, if it happens for the 3rd time, it's, like, party's over. Like, look, like, if I'm complaining, and if I find zero enjoyment, and I have to complain more, and I'm just, like, dreadful of seeing someone specific or interacting with someone, then that's as incredibly strong sign that it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be bleaching red flags white. Not my job.
Yeah. Tell us a funny story that comes from Alex having or being English as a second language, ESL. What's the story about? I don't want to say her full name, but L. When guys would come up and hit on her in school. This is kind of a funny story between a friend of ours.
So I learned this because like kids would be rude and like.
But can you edit the dirty word?
Right. So okay. I learned this when kids like would be like rude, like they would try to get us in trouble because like we were the only Latino kids in the school. So like they would ask us how to say bad words, and then here was the thing: like they would say them, and then they would get caught, and then they would try to throw us under the bus. So I caught on through that like really quickly, and I'm like, well, you're not gonna screw me over, little person. So they would ask like, how do you say like bitch in Spanish? And I would be like, lámpara, which means lamp. So like they would go to the teacher and be like, you're a lámpara or whatever, and like the teacher would be like, well, what does that mean? And like they would say like, well, this is what it means. And they're like, who taught you that? And then like they would be like, well, Alex taught me that. And I would be like, well, actually that word means lamp, so you're dumb. So anyway, so then fast forward to like high school, my friend, she was like trying to like date guys, and then I would just be like, look, like even if you don't understand because I know like you're learning, like they're just like trying to engage with you, so just be like, yeah, and like read their body language, and if they're saying something rude, you can tell just because you know. She's like, oh yeah, totally, I get it. So then like we're like by my locker, and like this guy was like hitting on her, and I was like, ask her to give you a blowjob just to see what she says. And then like I was like, but do it like when you're like smiling, like you're just asking how she's doing today. So then like he's asking her that, and she's like, yeah,
playing tricks on each other constantly. I will tell you this. He and his cousin Maya, we would like be like out, and we would like, they did this all the time. So we would be like out, and they would be like speaking in English, you know, and like we would like be by somebody, and then like all of a sudden they would switch into Spanish because they were talking about those people. They were talking about them.
Well, I mean but that's also like a stereotype, like, oh, like you talking about me, like, you know, but like it will be like when I was like talking about someone, then I didn't want to have to deal with having to tell them what I thought.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, I would be like, I don't like you.
Okay, I'm trying to find one last question.
Make it good.
I'm trying to. I already said my favorite memory of you. You don't have a favorite memory of me.
I don't have any memories.
You're not memorable either. Okay,
Good.
Aw, okay. Wine, boundaries, YouTube. Does Alex know your intro by heart? Hell no. He doesn't. Do you know it by heart?
No.
What's something of mine that you do know by heart that I say on my YouTube videos? Look how dark it got. And since it's like it's been raining the whole time.
Hey you guys, it's Peter and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh my! I can't believe it! I'm so proud of you. Okay, anyway, I love you so much, babe. Thank you for being in my video, and till the next Q&A, we will see you guys later. Love ya.
Peace.
Bye.